Hello, this is Catherine Willis, and this is going to be my oral history interview for entrepreneurship. My name is Catherine Willis, like I said, and my interviewee is Carolyn Miles. She is the owner and operator for The Love of Art. Now, Miss Miles, can you tell me about yourself?
Sure. I am a woman in my 50s. My dad was in the military. He was in the Navy. So I moved around a lot. I have a art degree. And I own a studio called For the Love of Art, which is a sip and paint studio. So we have parties there, and we do lessons there for all ages.
All right. Now, as an entrepreneur, I mean, you are a business owner, so you are an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur is somebody that's willing to take risk. Whenever you first thought about starting up For the Love of Art, what were your fears and concerns, and how did you overcome those?
Well, yes, taking the risk of opening a business is a big leap. I think that the first thing you have to do is be willing to put a lot of work in. So even before I started my business, I did a lot of research. I have experience in this particular field. So I had a good education in art. I've also owned other businesses, so I knew I've made a lot of mistakes in the past. So because this was not my first business, I knew things, I had experience where I knew how to research properly. I think the one thing that you can do to make sure that you alleviate some of the risks is to have a good business plan, to do your research, to make sure that you have as much ready to go before you actually open up the doors. So the process of opening up the business was not an overnight decision. It was a lot of research and a lot of work prior to making that decision.
All right. Now, can you tell me a little bit more about the business itself, like what you do and
Sure.
what you offer for your customers?
Sure. So For the Love of Art is a sip and paint studio. Sip and paint means that we have classes for adults in the evenings, and we, as a group, do a painting all together. I instruct the class. The reason why it's called SIP is because adults that are 21 and over can bring beer or wine, which kind of helps them feel at ease. And we walk everyone through a painting. It's about a 3-hour class. We have between 20 and 25 people in each class. During the day hours, we offer private lessons, and we do classes for other businesses that are wanting to have something for their employees to maybe do teamwork exercises or just bonding experiences. So we do a lot of different things. We teach from very young to older folks and everyone in between.
That's nice. Now, what exactly would you say your attitude is towards like competing companies that offer the same type of painting classes? For instance, whenever I do a quick Google search, many companies locally would pop up, including yours. How do you try to set your company apart from the others?
Well, before I opened this business, I actually worked at one of those other companies. So I had experience in what worked and what didn't work in their studio. So I recommend that anybody wanting to get into a business actually takes the opportunity to work for someone else prior to doing it themselves, because you can take that experience and kind of use it to your benefit. I learned very quickly at learning at another studio that I wanted to be more instruction-based. I felt like there was a lot of people in my classes. Our classes were much larger in the other studio, so when I opened up my studio, I made smaller classes. Their instruction time was very limited, where I made sure that I had more time to instruct my class. I do have have a background in customer service. I worked in customer service for a lot of different companies when I was younger. So the way that I set my studio apart from others is I do want to I made sure that when I found my location, I wanted it to be a house instead of like a building or something, because I wanted people to, feel like they were at home. I wanted them to feel very at ease. I wanted them to have a smaller class so that they could actually ask questions and learn. I wanted to make sure that I taught technique instead of just we're painting this and just follow along. So even people that come to one of my classes, they will come back because they have good instruction there and they feel at home and they're comfortable. So that's how I set myself apart. Some of the other companies are more entertainment-based and I'm more instruction-based.
All right. Now, one of the basic components of economics is the supply and demand model. How has the economy affected your business since its opening, negative or positive?
I have only been open for 3 years now, so I've got to say that I don't know that the economy has really affected my business. I do offer people who want to return ways of getting better deals with coupons and things like that, loyalty cards. So I don't think that the economy in the past 3 years has changed that much, and if it has, it's probably gotten better. But I don't think that I've been in the business long enough, this particular business, to feel the effects of the economy yet, either positive or negative.
Gotcha, I see. Now, inflation, this might be very similar to the whole supply and demand thing. Now, inflation, it's like the general increase of prices or even the fall of prices, of purchasing value of money. It's another major aspect of economics. Since opening your business, have your prices changed? And do you know if competitors have changed their prices and how that may have affected the customer relations?
Right. I have not had, the only inflation I have had is in my rent, and I think that is something that no matter what kind of business you're in, the longer you're in business, the more the person that you're leasing your property from figures that you can afford to pay a little bit more the longer you're in business. So that's the only inflation I've experienced in the last 3 years is rent increase. And I don't think that anybody has really changed their prices to go up. I think that by me opening my business, I might have changed the supply and demand of the local scenery for the business that I do, and it might have forced some people to lower their prices at their studios, but I have never lowered my price.
Okay. Have you felt any pressures from like government regulations? Anything like that? I mean, it can range from like just advertising, employment, environmental, anything of that sort?
Well, I think the government regulations for what the kind of business that I have is minimal. I have very few guidelines as far as government is concerned. We are a service-based company, so that kind of streamlines our need for sales tax and a lot of extra paperwork there. The state of South Carolina does not tax like service. So since we're a service-based industry, that has not been too much to deal with. We do some retail now that we didn't do in the beginning, so that has added a little bit more paperwork and government kind of things that I have to do. Environmentally, I've not had any kind of changes. I don't have a lot of employees. It's a very small business, so as far as having employee public safety, that kind of things, I don't deal with a lot of that because I only use subcontractors when I need them. I don't have a regular staff of employees.
Okay, that makes sense. And back with another question for the government regulations portion. Um, would you say there's any government regulations in place that actually protect you as a business owner?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know of any government regulations that protect me as a business owner.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Now let's say if you could time travel back to day one of starting your business, would there be any changes?
Yeah, when I first opened up my business, I had a business partner, and I think if I could go back, I would have not had a business partner because that particular person didn't last very long in my business. And there was some complications buying her out of the business. So if I could go back, I think I would rethink that. I probably wouldn't have allowed them to join on. I think that I probably should have thought about the issue of what a business partner and how to split responsibilities, because that's a very kind of difficult dance to do with a business partner. And even though we had discussed it many times about each person's responsibility, it was something that if you have a vision, you may want to reconsider a partner.
Right.
So that would be the only thing that I think I would change. Just because I feel like I had done so much research prior to opening up my business. I think that's the most important thing that you can do.
Gotcha. And then finally, you may have already mentioned it a few times here, but what advice would you give to another entrepreneur that dreamed of starting their own business like you did?
I would say the first thing I would say is you have to have a passion for what you're doing, because when you open up a business, you will not feel the benefits of your business right away. So there's a lot of hard work that goes in that you might not necessarily get money right away. It's kind of a give and take. So you work a lot of hours. So if you're going to work that many hours, better be something that you love to do. So I would say that get as much experience in others' business. So if you wanted to open up a bakery, go to work for a bakery. You know, I would say that you should get a varied amount of resources together. You should talk to as many people as you can. You should research aspects of, where to find material that you're going to sell. You should do employment information. So if you are going to have employees, you have all that information. I believe that you should visit other companies that are doing the same thing. Find out what they're doing, what you like about what they're doing, and what you don't like about what they're doing. Set yourself apart in some way. Find that special niche that you can lock a hold of. Make sure that that niche is there, that it can support it. Because it doesn't matter how much you love something if there's not a lot of other people. And I think treating your customers so that you're not constantly having to... I think the one thing about owning a business is once you decide that you're going to do it and you do it, you've got to put in a lot of hours. The reward will be there if you work hard for it. I think that you need to listen to your customers, find out what they like about your business, what they don't like about your business, and grow your business in the direction that is beneficial for your customers. Because in the end, without your customers, you don't really have a business. So I think just really, really working hard prior to opening it, then you have to put all the hours in. Like I said, I've been in business now. I'm going in my third year at this particular business venture. And, right now it's great. I've put in a lot of hours, and I'm starting to get the benefits of all the hard work I've put in. So it's a long haul, and you have to, make it the long haul.
Right, I totally understand that. Well, Miss Miles, I really appreciate your time with this video interview, and I hope the best of luck to you. Thank you for tuning in.